Hello, so welcome to the second part of my math talk. We're going to be going over the castle problem. Um, so in this problem, we're tasked with finding the number of heaters we need and the amount of plaster we need to plaster the walls to make this castle very warm and cozy. So first off, there's four structures to consider in the problem. There's a rectangular prism, there's a rectangular pyramid, uh, a cylinder, and a cone. And so we're given the length, width, and height of the of the prism, the rectangular prism, which we can later use to find the the rectangular pyramid, and we're given the diameter of the cylinder, which we'll use to find the cylinder and the cone. So first off, we'll start with the cylinder. So diameter of 16 yields us a radius of 8 feet. So we use the aforementioned formula in the first part of pi r squared times height to find the cylinder, volume of the cylinder. And so we know that the height of the cast of the cylinder is 60 feet because it's given to us here as part of the rectangular prism. So we plug our radius in and we get a volume of 12,063 cubic feet. For the volume of the cone, it is just the volume, it's just the formula of the cylinder, but times 1/3. And so we're given the height of 15 feet of the cylinder, and we know the radius is 8 because of the base of the cylinder. So we plug that in, and we get 1,005 feet squared. I mean cubed. Volume of rectangular prism is just length, width, and height, and we're just given all those values straight off the bat. So we can just plug that in, and we get 498,960 cubic feet. Volume of rectangular pyramid. So I split this into two parts. First, we're going to have to find the height of the pyramid, and for that, we're just going to use the Pythagorean theorem because we know that BC is 99 due to the fact that it's half of the width of the castle here, which is 198 feet, and we know that one we know that the slant height is 101, which is given to us here. And so in this diagram, we know that BC is 99 feet and BA is 101 feet. And with the Pythagorean theorem, we can use that to find AC squared, which is 400, and the square root of that is 20. So we know that the height is 20. So for the volume of the pyramid, it's just simply the same as the cone, is 1/3 base times height. So we have a rectangular base, so 198 feet times 42 feet times 20 feet, the height, and we get 55,440 feet cubed. Add all those volumes together, and we get 567,469 cubic feet. So for the number of heaters, it is 1 heater per 16,000 cubic feet. And so the number of heaters equals uh, the total volume times 1 heater over 16,000 cubic feet, which will give us 35.5 heaters. And if we round that, we have 36 heaters. So approximately the castle should have 36 heaters. So for the amount of plaster, we only need the vertical surfaces of the castle that must be plastered. That includes the roof and the sides of the castle. So we only need to consider the lateral surface areas of the rectangular prism, the rectangular pyramid, the cone, and the cylinder. And going back, um, we don't, we probably don't need to plaster the floors because why would you do that? Um, and yeah, so we're only going to plaster the walls, and we're also going to not plaster base of the cone and the base of the pyramid. So keep that in mind because, again, it's the floor, and why would you plaster the floor? Um, so, first we're going to start with the lateral surface area of the rectangular prism. So first off, we just need the we just need 2 length times height plus 2 width times height. So again, we get our values from here because they're just given to us. And so we find that the surface area minus the base is 28,800 feet squared. Remember, it's squared units, not cubed units, because we're not finding the volume anymore. The lateral surface of the cylinder is simply just 2 pi r times height. We skip the circular base and we plug that in because we were given the radius and the height, and so we get 3,016 feet squared. The lateral surface area of the rectangular pyramid is just 2 times 1/2 length times slant height plus 2 times 1/2 width times slant height. And we don't need the length times width anymore because we are not finding the base. And so with that, we get 9,984 feet squared. And finally, for the lateral surface area of the cone, it is simply just pi r times slant height. Again, we had the Pythagorean theorem to help us find the slant height. And I didn't draw a diagram because I explained it earlier, but again, we used the Pythagorean theorem to find the slant height of the cone, which we got was 17. And so we're given the radius, and pi, of course, 3.14, gives us 427.04 feet squared. Add that all together, and we need 42,227.04 feet of plaster, or you can just round it to 227 square feet of plaster. So that's the total amount of plaster if you want to cover just all the outside of the building. I don't know if the roof is like made of slate or something and doesn't need plaster, but I calculated it anyways in the event that it does. But yeah, if you're looking to surround the whole castle with plaster, this is the amount you need. And so that concludes my math talk. Thank you.